LA Tech Blab show happening every Tuesday. This is our grand finale for the day. We have Evie from one of my favorite. Can I say that enough times? LA Incubators, Rhubarb Studios. I don't even know if Corey, one of the co-founders, wants me to call it an incubator. He has so many names. Evie will tell me what we're supposed to call it. All I know is that I am a fan of Rhubarb Studios. My name is Esprit Devora at We Are LA Tech on Twitter. You can support the We Are LA Tech community by becoming a We Are LA Tech community member at wearelatech.com/founding. Evie, take it away. Tell us about Rhubarb Studios. Where are you located? And how are you creating an amazing impact on the team? And welcome to you 43 wonderful people from the homepage.
All right. Yeah. So Rhubarb, we are located in the heart of downtown. We are in the US Bank building. We are probably one of the only tech, I would say, accelerators, not incubators, in a pretty tall building like this. We have about 17 companies right now that we're taking from very early stage on to validation and to hopefully seed round and later rounds right now. So,
what's the difference? I mean, a lot of people ask this, and maybe you could help all of us understand what's the difference between an accelerator and an incubator, and maybe even let's take it to a co-working space. And Matthew thinks I'm freaking crazy. I agree. I'm completely crazy. And what's the difference between and an angel? And Sam, we will get to you. What's so great about Blab is it's an interactive experience. But Sam, we're going to talk to Evie real quick. So come back in a little bit when I unlock the seat, and then we'll invite you in to talk. But to kick it off, can you educate us on what the difference is between, from angel investing to VC investing to accelerating to incubator to co-working? What is going on?
All right, so let's start very simply. An incubator is a place where you get some free space. Maybe it's on USC's campus or another college campus, and you and your team get to work there for free. You get some advice, you get some mentors, and hopefully you can create your MVP. An accelerator, which is very much more similar to what Rhubarb is where you've already built something, and although we start very early stage, we have a 90-day program where we take people from inception to a seed round. In those 90 days, we provide them with 2 developers, a UX designer, and a product manager. And with this really cool cross-functional team, we build product. And that's what we do.
2 things. 1, what's cross-functional mean? And 2, when you say you take them to a seed round, does that mean Rhubarb invests in the company themselves, or do you guys help them make the connections to get seed money, which you guys is the really beginning stages of investment money from an outside party?
That's correct. So Rhubarb is really well connected with the LA tech scene. So we do have a whole host of angels and venture capitalists that are constantly in the studios mentoring a lot of the startups that we have here. They give some of their time for office hours so that they can help these companies get ready for an investment from them. So it's a really cool, how do I say it, an ecosystem that we've created where it's much more different from a natural, incubator in a sense, if that makes any sense, right?
Right. Well, no, you got to explain it to us.
Yeah, I mean, so Rhubarb is really in its own space. We've created something that really doesn't exist. We have a weird proposition where we provide people talent. Most incubators, accelerators, you come to them and you're supposed to provide your product, and they're supposed to help you. Where we provide talent, we provide missing parts of your team. If you're missing a senior developer, we give you that. If you're missing,
what's that mean, Evie? Because it sounds really intense. I'm a new entrepreneur, and by the way, I do hear someone talking in the background. FYI, I'm not sure who's on the phone. So I'm a new entrepreneur, and I am building a mobile app, and I need a developer, and typically that's really expensive. So, how can you just provide me a senior developer? I don't even understand how that could come to be. And to the 79, 80 now of you who are joining us from the Blab community, I want to welcome you to Rhubarb Studios, one of my favorite incubators, accelerators, product development, supportive teams. I call it all these different words in LA. I'm a huge fan of Rhubarb and its founders. I love Rhubarb. And Evie, if you could kind of be in a spot where I don't hear the phone call, that would be great.
Yeah, give me 1 second while I just move this one. Hey guys, you guys, I'm on a call actually. You guys might go in a different place. Cool.
All right. Thanks, EB. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll answer your first question. And what was a cross-functional team? And really, a cross-functional team is an agile development team that's ready and willing to build a freaking product with you. So
I'm so sorry, EB. What does agile mean?
Agile is in a very simple sense. It's a very lean methodology, right? Lean startup principles, taking principles of early validation, user testing, and bringing that early on into the development and design of the product. So from a very simple sense, we take that methodology and we build a team around you as an entrepreneur. You come into our program, you may have a co-founder, we build this team, and together we design that product.
Right.
And through our methodology, we validate that product, we user test it, and we develop it into a full-fledged company, right? A startup.
Yeah.
And from there, you move on and you become a larger company, and we have 25,000 square feet here, so you can take an office space. You can move on to wherever you need to move on to. But that cross-functional team is what takes you through, right? So Rhubarb.
Go ahead.
No, so Rhubarb really teaches we have three things that we look for. We look for passion, we look for skills, and we look for the last one is it's skills and it's
insanity.
Maybe insanity. Where I was going with that is that we can't teach you passion, right? Passion is something that comes from deep within inside of you, and we look for individuals who have that passion. Skills can be taught, but passion is really what drives really cool development of product. So
very cool, very cool. And I want to welcome the 117 of you tuning in to the We Are LA Tech Blab show, happening every Tuesday. This is our grand finale only of the day, and we have Rhubarb Studios. I love Rhubarb Studios. So we're talking about how Rhubarb supports startups in becoming successful, raising that initial round of capital.
Yes.
Evie, what do you see as a common thing two things. One, what's a common trait that startups have that make them successful? And then what's a common trait that they have that actually creates some, let's not say failure, but create some blocks? What are the two sides?
Oh yeah. So one of my favorite things is founders who got scrappy, right? It wasn't like when I say scrappy, I mean like they did what it took to validate that their idea was real. We have an entrepreneur who's coming in to learn more about his product. He went and drove for DoorDash so that he can get insider information into restaurants. And that he was able to go into those restaurants, meet with the chefs, meet with the restaurant owners, and ask specific questions for his product.
That's amazing.
That was
when thinking outside the box, like really understanding your market. Yeah,
exactly. Really understanding your market, really understanding what it is you're building and how you're going to solve a problem for a real set of people. Having an idea and thinking you know what the customer wants is not something that we condone here. We actually we condone like you actually proving that to us and showing that.
Oh, totally.
Results. Yeah.
I mean, you guys know, even with We Are LA Tech, I have the We Are LA Tech Experience Club, and I had over 100 phone calls one-on-one with people to figure out who they are. By the way, Evie, where you are, I hear a bunch of people around you, and I just want to make sure everybody can hear you.
I'm going to show you guys Rhubarb Studios because we're moving to a new location.
That would be awesome.
There's like 100 people in here, so at any given time, there's.
And why don't you show us the view as well?
All right, cool. It's actually the perfect time to see the view of downtown.
It's great. You guys, literally, you can go there right now. Evie, why don't you tell, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Like people who are looking right now, literally, if you're in LA or if you want to travel to LA, you can go there right now and meet Evie in person. How can people connect with you to do that?
rhubarbstudios.co. We have an application where you can come in and schedule to pitch us if you have a startup. We have opportunities where you can just come and visit the space. I'll give you a cool tour. I'll show you some of the startups, some of the mentors that we have, some of the things that we're building. Here's some cool stuff going on over here. Let's check it out.
And they have a one wheel there. They have a ping pong table there. They have this amazing kitchen where I constantly steal all the food. Like, I love it. As you guys know, if you've been watching the We Are LA Tech Blab show today, I am actually sitting in Blab. Yes, I am sitting at Blab headquarters right now. We are doing a We Are LA Tech event to unite the LA Tech people living in San Francisco because we are crazy like that. But back at my home base, Evie is there showing us a tour of Rhubarb Studios in downtown LA. Downtown LA is thriving right now. It is really pushing to become a dominant area in the LA tech ecosystem. And Rhubarb is a big powerhouse behind that. They're incredibly supportive. They have an amazing team. I don't just say that. They support We Are LA Tech through and through. They support so many startup entrepreneurs. And one of my favorite things I think that they offer that you may just not know from like looking at a website and stuff are the classes and the educational things that they do, the speeches and stuff are so, and I don't say this lightly, are so high quality. You walk away every single session with actionable steps to become a more successful professional. And I think to go so far as say become more successful in your personal life. Like they're just engaging, dynamic educational forums. So not only do they provide you the infrastructure to be supportive of you growing your startup from your technical needs to understanding your marketing strategy to product development, they also provide you an educational platform so that you could get in there and keep on learning. And it's just, and the community itself is just dynamic, and you have this whole network of friends. You think
Amen.
I hit it?
Amen. You got
it. Did I miss anything?
Amen. Hallelujah. You got it.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
So what would you say? I mean, it's really interesting that Rhubarb is really pushing for downtown LA. So what would you say within LA? We have so many great cities from Santa Monica, which you guys think of as Silicon Beach. I think all of LA is Silicon Beach. But from Santa Monica to Pasadena to Venice to Culver City to Burbank to, all these areas. What do you think is a really big advantage in downtown LA specifically?
Yeah, so downtown LA traditionally has a lot of bankers and a lot of
money, Evie?
Yeah, a lot of traditional financial institutions. And what's happening is that there's about a 40% occupancy rate right now, 40 to 60%. So all the buildings you see downtown that I showed you, they're missing about 40% of their space. So people like Rhubarb, we're trying to create a tech building. So we're trying to say, hey, to US Bank Tower, we'll start with one floor, but then the next year we're going to take another floor, and then we're going to take another one until we take the entire building, essentially. And it's going to be all people in the tech industry who are geared around exactly what we're doing. So
I've been hearing that, and I hear Startups in the Sky has started, and it's this amazing event.
Phenomenal.
I don't know if you call it like event production, but events themed Startups in the Sky, and it's all revolving around the tech scene going on in downtown LA, and you get to hang out in these gorgeous buildings, literally in the sky, and it's all tech people. It's great. Hello to the 172 of you. What? Woo! I welcome you. My name's Esprit Devora from We Are LA Tech, and I'm here with Evie from Rhubarb Studios, and we are talking about downtown LA and Rhubarb Studios and how Rhubarb really helps, essentially hold your hand as a startup to make sure you go from ideation to kick ass and funded and growing a profitable company. I mean, no joke at Rhubarb. It's how do we go from being a really high value product that people want to pay for, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You really hit the nail on the head. What our CEO Corey is a true product manager, and he is, I would say, one of the best product people in Los Angeles. His vision and is really coming to life at Rhubarb Studios, and we've learned so much from him. And you're right, the classes that he teaches, they're phenomenal. The Master Series is going to start again in January. And if any of you guys are in LA and interested, definitely come check out one of the info sessions that we have to get more information on it.
And say that you found out about it from We Are LA Tech, and they'll give you an extra hug, because I give everybody hugs. If you're watching the show right now, if you click on the Tell Little Bird to the right, you can share this awesome information with your buddies, which would be great. If you want to support the We Are LA Tech community, simply go to wearelatech.com/founding and become a community member. Evie, what are the next steps? What is your ask? If we could leave this interview and you could either ask me, I want two things. I want you to say, what's one thing people could do to support Rhubarb? And what's one thing that Rhubarb can do to support everybody watching right now? One super master tip that you're whoa, mind blown.
Yeah. So one thing that you guys can do to support us would be to, spread the word about our build program. We really are accepting really cool entrepreneurs. If you know someone
about their build program, you guys, build program. Yeah. And can you link to it as well?
Yeah. So it's rhubarbstudios.co/build. If you refer someone that gets into the program, I'll write you $1,000 check. So
wait. We have 195 people listening. Yo, are you guys ready to make a grand? Go. Evie, how can everyone, 195 people, make $1,000 right now?
Refer a startup that gets into our build program, and I'll write you $1,000 check on the spot.
I mean, are you guys tripping out? It's crazy. All right. Master tip. What is the master tip? Evie, no joke. You're talking to a spree here. Mind blown. If I went to 100 panels and conferences in the last 30 days, I want you to give me the tip that I wouldn't have heard at any of these, that thing that you have learned from all the portfolio startups that you've had building your companies in Rhubarb, that you're like, this is a no-brainer. If all startups just knew this one thing, they would just accelerate so much faster. What is it?
Oh
Go.
My God. All right. So
the pressure's on.
One thing would be to identify your early adopters and make them loyal brand vultures that eat everything you throw at them, and they're ready to eat simple product, whatever it is. Early adopters are where it's at. I've learned that from the past 2 startups that have been here. My last 2 startups in my own company, it was my early adopters who carried me, and really I built a really great product for them, and that ended up turning into a multi-million-dollar product. So yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because we didn't even really touch base on just yourself. So can you tell us a little bit, before we close this out, a bit about your background? And then really like, what does that mean? Like, how do I physically go get my early adopters? Because obviously it's easier said than done. So what does that mean? What did that mean to you? And by the way, if you have questions, 210 of you. What? Awesome. Questions on the right-hand side. Just, ask us any questions. This is a conversation between us both. If we have a couple minutes at the end, I'm sure Evie and I can have someone join in with us to ask a question live.
That'd be great.
But first, Evie's going to tell us a little bit about his background. Again, you're watching an interview with We Are LA Tech and Rhubarb Studios based in downtown LA. We Are LA Tech has a weekly blab show every Tuesday where you get to meet amazing LA Tech startups. Evie, go for it. A little bit about your background and the actionable steps to build your early adopters.
Sure. Yeah. My career started for a New Zealand dairy company. I helped them kickstart a division, which was a food service division in Chicago. We started selling like super artisanal cheeses for a very tough market to break into Chicago. We started with just a pallet a week of sales, and I kind of grew that to be about 5 truckloads a week. I locked in Hilton, all the Hilton hotels, all the Hyatt Regency. So that's how my career started. I left that to join a startup, apparel manufacturing startup. When I started, it was nothing, and I grew it to be about 1.5 million in sales a year. And then I exited that. Yeah, I exited that in March. And then I found Rhubarb. I realized I didn't really know how to design product. I can sell stuff. I mean, I can design sales strategy. I can do business strategy, but what I really wanted to learn is how to design products. So I fell into General Assembly, took a class with Corey. Him and I hit it off, and I've been working for him ever since. And he's been awesome.
And Corey is the CEO of Rhubarb. Yeah. And that's crazy that you built up your last startup to such a highly profitable level. Like you said, that one of the ways you did that, and it was vital, was early adopters. What are some of the action steps? I mean, it's not easy. Literally, I want 223 people to get off of this blab and be able to take the action steps you give us right now and do something with it. What are those action steps?
Yeah, so it's really simple. Let's take it back a step. You'll have a problem, right? And when you figure out what that problem is, you'll find someone who you'll find a solution, right? And when you start to implement that solution, you'll see that there's a couple people that respond to it, and those people are willing and eager to hear what you have to say, and whatever you throw at them, they're readily available to get on the phone, come visit with you, and come do user interviews and help you grow your product. And that's like the main way. That's like the number one advice that I could give you is hold on to those people with dear life and do whatever you can to help them. Really.
Awesome. Awesome. And one more time, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, rhubarbstudios.co. You can email me at eb@rhbrb.com. There's a number of ways. Just search us online and you'll find a way to find me. So
Awesome. I'm opening up the seat if anybody wants to jump in, but to wrap it up, this has been Esprit Devora. Every Tuesday, we do the We Are LA Tech Weekly Blab show featuring amazing LA startups. I am so honored to be part of the LA Tech ecosystem. I am born and raised LA. If you want to be supportive of the We Are LA Tech community, simply become a founding community member at wearelatech.com/founding. This has been an incredible Tuesday with fantastic startups. I'm so happy that we get to finish off with Rhubarb. Rhubarb, thank you for being supportive of We Are LA Tech. We love you. And I'm signing out from Blab in San Francisco. And I will be back to LA in a few days.
All right. I want a t-shirt when you get back. So
you got it. Bye.
Bye. Take care.